if you want to send a message out, testing messages, it's pretty good to work with ChatGPT. But please keep the human touch.
Welcome to a new episode of HubHype. This is the second and also the last one for this year. How are you, Irving, today?
I'm super good because it's end of the year and I really like it. So, second episode, the first one, I was very nervous. I'm still nervous, but we will manage it.
I think we will manage. Yeah, I think this year was really, it was a rough year when it comes to challenges and new things happening. A lot has happened. Really, so many things changed in our company and in general in the world, if you want. But today we have something about HubSpot again. So for everyone who was listening, by the way, thank you so much for all the subscribers and everyone who listened to the last episode. We have a lot of HubSpot users listening in, and we are talking about marketing hubs, but also HubSpot as HubSpot partners. So if you're interested, once again, this is where you will find your most actionable tips and tricks that you can, as well adapt in your business. And I think that's good. So thank you so much for all the feedback to everyone out there who listened to the last one. That was super.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. All right. So today I want to bring here a couple of things about HubSpot, and let's start with that. So the first thing was an update that we saw in October, already like 2 months ago. But I feel like there was not a lot of people talking about that, which is sequences in campaigns. And I know this is a very simple one, but it changes the mindset of marketing and sales working together. So before, in HubSpot, you can create a campaign, you can add assets like emails, ads, lists, posts, workflows, but now you can also add sales sequences. And I think this is such a very simple thing, but in the concept of it all, it really shows how important marketing and sales have to be, how important it is that marketing and sales are aligned. Because if you have now sales sequences as part of a campaign, you can as well track the performance of that sales sequence, and together the performance of marketing and sales and the revenue generated and new contacts created, influenced, and converted. So I think that this as a concept, it goes really into the direction of something that we've been preaching for so long, which is marketing and sales alignment. And so having that as well in campaigns is pretty cool. So that's something that you can do now since 2 months ago.
I agree. So that's one thing that you can see it in the campaigns. The other thing is when you look at your pipelines, a lot of customers do not do that because you can automate all your pipeline stages, what you have in the sequences, because it's recurring work a salesperson has to do. I'm not talking about sending out a proposal, but sending out stuff, who we are, what we are offering, and stuff like that. So that's one thing. And really, step by step, if someone is evolving through the different pipelines, you can automate those pipelines, which can get a lot of work out of your table, right? And this is really where customers should more focus on, automate their pipelines. It might sense to do a little bit of a review. You do not have to reinvent the wheel because the sales people already know what they are doing the whole day. But think about the repeating work you are doing with your prospects, maybe also with your customers, because it's not the end of the journey when they bought. There is, in a lot of cases, also upside potential. And this is really something where you can use sequences, what I see.
Absolutely, absolutely, and you're completely right when you say that the journey does not end when it becomes a customer. It continues, and actually it's really on you to make sure that that customer stays and can become an advocate and all that. And that's still a job. It's not marketing anymore to convert, but the whole brand and the whole revenue operations is involved, and it does not end when it converts. It continues, and that's how you can scale then your business.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. So the other thing is something that our marketing team were thinking about. So you know that in HubSpot you can schedule your posts, and I think this is only available for Marketing Pro. But basically, you can manage your social posts, everything in HubSpot. You can schedule there, etc. And then also another thing that we were kind of struggling to find was having some sort of category or tags within the posts, because we do a lot of posts about, for instance, the company culture, product updates, posts about certain topics like marketing automation, CRM, segmentation, scoring, HubSpot. And we do have at least of 10 to 50 topics that we are always talking about. And we wanted to find a way in HubSpot that we could track the performance of those posts without like some big concept behind it. And so because currently there is no possibility to add tags to posts, which is something that I think HubSpot could, if you're hearing this, you could implement somehow.
Good one.
Honestly, it would be so good to have tags in posts that you can categorize the different things and then plan ahead and stuff like that. So that's not existing. So what we did was you can add a certain post again to a campaign, and some posts are specifically for a campaign, but sometimes it's really just a post, right? So what we did, we created campaigns for those topics, and it should not be so many, so like 10 topics. And then we always add this post to the specific topic. So if I'm talking about lead pipeline, then I have a topic about pipeline that I can add those posts to, and I can immediately see as well. So then you can add those posts and see the performance of that specific topic, and you can see, oh, this topic actually resonates good or doesn't. So that's a tip to everyone using that feature in HubSpot. I think it's working pretty good.
Yeah, I like this tool as well. So we improved a lot. We are also learning, and that's my recommendation to everyone. Just try it out because there's so much potential within HubSpot. Try out things, maybe without a concept, what you are just mentioning. Just try it out, see what you can get out of that, and then learn from it, because every company has to learn much more what they are doing. There is no golden grail what you can find. So just test it out.
Yeah, and really, I mean, marketing is all about testing, improving, optimizing, figuring out that's not working, testing another thing. Without that, I mean, if you stale and you don't do anything, then nothing will happen really. So just test
Yeah.
it as much as you can.
So when we are at the topic of LinkedIn and posting and so forth, I really recommend, because we are currently testing as a company Humanlinker. So we just did a trial. It was a recommendation of a friend of mine. So for sure it's another tool, but what you can really see is if you install that, do the test, is really the personality of a person. So if they're extroverted or introverted. I know that we last time say about something about TradeSpotter, I think, in the last episode, but Human is something different. So it's a extension for Google Chrome, and then you go on the profile, and then you see which personality a person has. You also can update the email address. So you do not need any Apollo, you do not need any Clay or something like that. So this is really powerful, but it's not for mass marketing. It's really for one-to-one communication in LinkedIn, because what you can do automatically, and I do not get any credits for that, but I'm really a fan of Human. What you can get is there as well. You can create auto responses to the post someone did, and it's really personal. And this is something what I like, because what I see in the last time is ChatGPT for sure. You get automated campaigns through Lem and stuff like that. But it's very important, I think, that we are having to come back to a real one-to-one communication, really do it personal. And what we are doing, Lisa and myself, every day now is 30 minutes of the day is really dedicated to human linkers. So we going through the posts as someone else which is connecting to us is doing, and then really reposting that stuff or answering on comments and give you a good hint. My recommendation for 2025 is really try it out, because it's cool, easy to install, all good.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, and we tested before as well some LinkedIn automation tools for outreach, and that works in some extent, but I think that people are already so used to get those messages that they can spot that that's some automation behind it. And I think it lacks authenticity and real relationships, and that's how you need to build relationships, and through post interaction or something. And I think Humanlinker is good because of that. It does not do the work for you, because there are some tools out there who are automatically posting comments, and you can immediately see that's not real.
Yeah.
It doesn't do that for you, but it's supporting you on that job and giving you some good insights on that. And honestly, I think that's really what AI is for, especially in our area, like marketing and sales. In some cases, it completely can replace our efforts, and in some others, it's kind of an assistant. And if you can leverage that, if you're not doing that, actually, you're probably behind, because that's what you need to do moving forward. And especially, I was looking at some trends, and I will also highlight some trends that I saw for 2025. There's always articles and videos out there stating marketing trends for the next year. And of course, AI is one of them, as it has been, for the last couple of years. Nothing new there. So, Irving, do you have any like HubSpot highlights, something that you talked with customers in the last few days that maybe you want to share?
Yeah, so still the topic of double opt-in and preference centers, because looking at some of the portals, so it's set up the correct way, let's say this way, but you can do it much better, I think, from times to times. So the last week I implemented a simple double opt-in process for a German company, which was good. And what came out is that we really thought about the preference center. So what you basically have in HubSpot is that you can give those different channels. So you can say one-to-one email, you can say direct email, you can say general communication, but you can really use it to also classify your contacts. So who is interested in what? And for sure, it's mandatory that someone who wants to unsubscribe do this on a more or less one-click thing. But it's really okay to ask for the preferences, because it might be that someone of your company is not interested in your events, but he is maybe interested in your blog posts, which you are sending out every month. So really think about your preference center. For sure, we can help you as well, but it's super easy to install. Basically, what you have to do is just to think about your communication channels and then set it up, and you're good to go. You go to your forms, and then you can add more than one communication channel. And that's basically it. So in double opt-in process as well, you can create your emails. I just talked to a legal team of one of our customers, and they were more or less blown away from the tracking. Tracking means that you can see what someone did when he subscribed, when he unsubscribed, when he maybe added a new communication channel. And this was really great. So they signed off on that one. That was good. About double opt-in processes and preference centers. The other thing I thought, and I didn't have this in my mind, is that for any new instance, Insights is going away. So for all the older customers listening in our podcast, so Insights is still available for the older customers. Mm-hmm. But it's not available for the new customers.
I think it started, in September. So every new
exactly. It's getting sunset,
not
right?
having Insights. Yeah.
So, but then you have to use Breeze for sure. Breeze is a different topic in a different monster, and it's also good for European data. That's good, but this was let's say a aha moment for me because I really did not have this in mind. But there are workarounds about it, so that's the big news from the last 4 weeks already.
Yeah. Well, I think it's still I think we may have mentioned that in our last episode, that you can see the potential of enrichment for your properties. So before you actually go ahead and buy some credits, I think there's as well until the end of the year. So basically, you have to buy some sort of credits, but until the end of the year, there's like this special offering that they are doing, that you can have a certain percentage or a certain number of contacts being enriched. I'm just not completely sure right now how many are those. Just like it's like a batch update. So you don't have to buy the credits, and which you will have to do that afterwards, and from January on. But yeah, I mean, it's a shame, let's say, that you don't have HubSpot Insights anymore. And that really, I think that why we realize that is because usually, or right now, what happens with already older portals is that if you create a new contact that has a business domain, immediately a company is created. So you have an associated company, and along with that new company record as well, other properties are being filled, like revenue, and as well country or number of employees. Now, because new portals don't have that, there's no new association with a company record, and that's more work. You have to create it manually and all that. So yeah, HubSpot is really making you buy Breeze AI. So take care of that.
Which is good and bad. So I talked to a friend of mine, and he was saying he maybe is bringing out a new app to enrich those data. But for sure, you can get out much more out of Breeze when you buy those credits. And there are always ways around it. So you can crawl the website. You can maybe also buy an agent. I think there's also an agent available in HubSpot to do the work for you. So you have to see. And it really depends on the companies using HubSpot, how they want to enrich the data. But this is still a super important topic. So, and again, marketing is about trying out things. There's no golden rule or golden way how to do that. So you have to know how good your data are. One thing, what you mentioned, Lisa, that's correct, that you can enrich a bulk of all your contact data in a one-time fee. Maybe we can give this in the show notes, what we are having. Yeah, sure. It's good.
Absolutely. And I think this goes into the direction of something that I mentioned recently in a HubSpot user group webinar that I hosted. You can find, so the user group is called B2B Technology USA, so you can find it online. And I was talking about advanced segmentation techniques in HubSpot, and one of them, and I made sure to really focus on that, is it's really all about the data you have that you can then segment on. And enrichment allows you to do that because there are some publicly available information, like as I said, company size and others, that you need to have inside HubSpot to define your ideal customer profile inside HubSpot. And without that data, you will probably have a harder time to get it organically, let's say with form submits and stuff like that. So that's really important when you want to focus on segmentation. And if that's part of your strategy, you can as well reach out to us and we can have a talk about that. But if it's part of your strategy, you need definitely to invest in some data enrichment. Yeah. Absolutely.
Good.
All right. So I would like maybe, so as I told you, I saw this Forbes article about some trends. I think it's somewhere in here. Sorry, because I have to take a look, because otherwise I won't be able. You can still see me, right, Irving?
Yeah, sure. All good.
Sure, right? So one of the things is definitely the integration of AI, as we said. So this is actually something that the Communications Council members of Forbes recommended. So this is nothing new. But what it says here is that an emerging trend is artificial intelligence for hyper-personalization and predictive analytics. AI will enable companies to analyze vast data sets in real time, tailoring content and recommendations for individual clients with unprecedented. This is actually something that we've been doing for the last 4 years with our product, but it's good to see that as AI is evolving, and it's so overwhelming sometimes because everything has AI and you really don't know where to look at. It's good to see that this predictive thing, especially in the sense of marketing, is becoming more and more aware in people's minds. And I think that's really what we want here, and the main highlight to take from this. The next one I saw was also as well interesting. It's called employee influencers. So this is something that B2C brands have been leveraging, especially on TikTok. But I think that B2B will follow the same route, especially on LinkedIn. And this is not only because sometimes you think about employer branding or employee influencers or something that you would only do for HR purposes or something. If you have if you need to hire someone and you want to kind of convince them that this is a good company to be working for, but to showcase your company culture, so the people who are behind what you offer, and just to I don't know, just take a video or something about the atmosphere that you have inside your company. Yeah. That can make a huge difference as well on the trust you're trying to build with your future customers. And this is an ongoing, and honestly, trust is the main element that you need to have, because people buy if they trust you, and they stay if you continue to prove on that trust. And so it was interesting to see this here. I've been seeing this across TikTok a lot, but it's good to see that that's trending. And another one here was as well community-led growth. So we are very much into communities, marketing communities, and as well the HubSpot user groups, that's as well a community on its own. And I think that, and what it says here, B2B buyers trust recommendations from peers more than traditional marketing messages. So that's obviously something that you would agree on. So
that's how Google is working still today, right? It's a recommendation from a recommendation. So
exactly, absolutely. And word of mouth is the best channel still today, right? Yeah. It's just made different now in the digital era, but to build communities with that, with shared challenges and common goals, sell much more than any kind of marketing message that you can put out there, because it can seem similar to everyone else. So focus on creating those small communities, because that's really where the value is. And another thing, the last one, is short form videos. I think that the attention span of most people is getting lower and lower. So people are they have no patience or time to be watching long form videos. They really want to see something which is quick and can somehow stay in the back of their mind. So that's as well a trend that they are recognizing here, that and also AI is playing a huge role on that, because you can be more productive with new tools for video and stuff. Creating short form videos or long form videos as we do it, and then repurposing them to short form is really a trend that we are continuing to see in 25. So excited to see more.
Yeah, me too. So 25 will be a good year, hopefully, for everyone. So looking forward to see some results regarding the AI and ChatGPT. For sure, everyone knows it's good. So it's good to get some information. It's good to summarize things. It's also good to give a skeleton about a blog post or something like that. On the other hand, I really want to encourage everyone to think more about one-to-one communication, because we are human beings. So you will, it's a ChatGPT message or it really customized. And I think what you are saying, communities are working because there's a kind of a trust level when you are in there. Like in Connect, you have a kind of a trust level already implemented into that. And one-to-one communication for me is still the king, for sure. If you want to send a message out, testing messages, it's pretty good to work with ChatGPT or something else, what is out there in the market. But please keep the human touch. And this is something which I want to see in 2025, if I would have a wish, besides peace and all the other stuff we are wishing. Sure. But do good communication, because messaging is still relevant. The good message is still relevant.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there was a hype on ChatGPT
Yeah.
and all these new tools emerging all of a sudden because of the ChatGPT API and stuff. But I think that as the dust, settles in and falls, I think that people are recognizing now what it is created with AI and what it's not. And we are more sensible to that. And
Yeah.
that makes us as well recognize more and give more value to the personal touch and the human touch. I think that the excitement from the beginning has now turned into something that, okay, we have to make sure that we are differentiating ourselves because GPT is the same for everyone. So yeah, be more human. That's a good message.
Thank you.
And it serves for every purpose. So it's good. All right, so I think maybe it's time to, I don't know if you want to talk a little bit more about something else. I would just
We can talk about a lot of things, but one thing maybe what I'm interested in to get feedback from the audience is you came to me last week saying there is a new prospect and he wants to do ABM, so account-based marketing or account-based scoring. So I have something in mind because, as I always say, I did hundreds of scoring models back in time, but I would be interested from the audience to get some feedbacks on which parameters you would do that. So how would you calculate that? And we should talk in the next episode, so end of January, about account-based marketing, but not in general. For me, it's more account-based scoring. So how would you score your leads, which are associated to the company? And I would be really interesting to see some comments on that one, to elaborate a little bit next time and talk about a little bit more into depth about this account-based scoring. That's my wish as well for 2025. Nothing to add.
That's a good one because and hopefully we can get the chance as well to work with that customer and with this project, because this is something that maybe a lot of companies out there mainly doing ABM will or have no idea how to put it as a concept and implement it. And I think that was actually the requirement from this customer. So hopefully we get to work closely with him in January, and then we bring some more insights to you as well if you're doing the same.
Alrighty, good.
All right, good. So another thing, just before we are ending, as we are almost reaching 30 minutes, there's like a cultural recommendation I would like to do on the 25th of, so Christmas Day. I think in the US is on the Christmas Day. I'm not sure when it will be here in Portugal where I am sitting, but there's a movie called A Complete Unknown. This is a story about Bob Dylan, and I love Bob Dylan history and him as a musician. He's starting with Timothy Chalamet. He's a well-known actor, but I think that it's just a recommendation that you go see it, right? So it's such a great story, the musician, and everyone knows him as well. And he's a great painter, by the way.
Okay, I didn't know that one. Okay.
He has like he has a place where he's putting up his paintings in New York. I was there this year. And but he's such an incredible character in music and in art. So I'm excited to see that. So if you don't know, just go check it out. That's my cultural recommendation. Maybe we should add one every episode. I don't know.
Good idea. Why not?
Why not, right? All right, guys. So thanks for watching and listening in, because we are as well on YouTube. And for everyone, thanks again for our customers, our team, everyone out there who has supported us throughout the year. And I wish you all a Merry Christmas, right? And a Happy New Year.
Absolutely. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Thanks for the support in 2024 from the team and also from our customers, and looking forward to 2025.
Absolutely. Thanks
Thank
again.
you.
Yes,
Bye-bye.
see you next time. Bye-bye.